In this video we'll show how to price a forward. So a forward is a contract between two parties to buy or sell an asset at a specified future time at a price agreed today. So what this means is that at some point in the future I will give you a predetermined amount of cash, and you in exchange of that will give me a title of ownership of an asset. So obviously this asset can be anything. It can be an ounce of gold, it can be a share, it can be a pork belly, but in today's video we'll just look at how to price a forward on a non-dividend paying stock. So the question is, what is the price that we must be paying for the forward if there is no arbitrage? So I'm not saying what should be the price or what could be the price, but what must be the price, assuming that there is no arbitrage in the market. Well, let's take an example of 1 unit of Google stock, and let's say that we want to agree a price today of a forward expiring in a year's time. Today Google closed at $531.99, okay, and we ask ourselves a question: what is the K? What's the forward price for a contract expiring in a year's time, given that the interest rates are 5%? Okay, so the formula for pricing a forward is actually very simple. It is simply this thing here, which says forward price at time zero, i.e. today, is nothing else but the stock price at time zero today times this continuously compounded interest rate. Yeah, R stands here for interest rate, and T stands for time to expiry, and obviously in our case it will be 1 year. So the calculation is pretty trivial. So 531.99, which is today's spot price, times this continuously compounded interest rate, this will give us 531.99 times 1.051, which is, let's round it to 560. So K, our forward price, is $560. So I have here a diagram from Wikipedia, and it says that K here in our case equals 560. Okay, so this is the price at which you would transact or agree to enter into a long forward contract. You would agree to be delivered or to deliver this asset, this 1 unit of stock, for 560 pounds in a year's time. Now obviously the price itself, spot price at maturity, so the price of the asset here, our Google share, will differ from the price at which we transacted this forward. So it differs from the K price. Let's assume that the price happens to be $650. So in a year's time the actual price of Google happens to be $650. In such case, we want to ask ourselves, what will be our payoff? Well, all we have to do is just go up this line, okay, and read it of the y-axis. This is y-axis here. So we go up vertically, and we go left, and we get our payoff. But our payoff will be nothing else but 650 minus 560. Well, this happens to be 90 USD, yeah, 90 US dollars. Why is our profit from this transaction 90 USD? Well, because we have the obligation to buy the asset for $560, and what we can do, obviously, we get 1 unit of Google share, we give our counterparty 560, and we sell it immediately for 650, therefore realizing a gain of 90 USD, yeah, of 90 US dollars. So this was just a little digression. We in fact are in today's video only interested in trying to understand why the forward price has to be dictated, has to be given by this formula. Okay, so why is it that our K as of today has to be 560 and nothing else, no other value? How come it cannot take any other value than 560? Well, let's observe what's going to happen if first, say you observe a forward price today of 750, and in the second scenario, let's see what's going to happen when we observe a price of the forward of 510 today in the market. Let's see what we can do to actually arbitrage these prices. What I mean by this is, let's construct a riskless strategy such that we will have a virtually certain probability of making money out of nothing. So one more time, if you observe a price today which is different from 560, there exists a strategy which will allow you to make money with a virtual certainty, and the strategy would involve no upfront cost. So in a nutshell, there exists an arbitrage opportunity here. If the price that we observe today is either above or below 560, there is free money for us to be made. Okay, so let's first take a case where the price is above 560, i.e. 570, and then we'll take a second scenario where the price of the forward is actually below 560. Let's see how we can arbitrage these prices and make money out of it. Okay, so for starters, let's take a case where we observe a price of 570. Okay, and now I will devise here a strategy which you will see will guarantee you a profit, and it costs nothing to actually implement. So first, when we observe a price of 570 for our forward, we know the price should be 560, but for some reason it's 570. What we do is we borrow $532 for 1 year at the prevailing interest rate of 5%. Yeah. So here in this column, I've got cash flows. So basically, when we borrow money, obviously we have a positive cash flow because we get money into our hands. So this is positive. Yeah, we get 532. Now in step 2, we buy with this money. We buy 1 unit of Google stock. And when we buy something, obviously we get rid of an asset. In this case, we get rid of our cash. So we purchase. With the cash that we borrow, we purchase 1 unit of Google stock, and then we enter into one short forward contract. When I say short, I mean to sell 1 unit of stock at 570. Okay, why 570? Well, because this is the price that we observe in the market today. Forward contracts cost nothing to enter. Only a maturity does any exchange of cash flow and asset take place. So obviously, when it comes to cash flows, it costs us 0 to enter, and effectively, if we sum up these 3 items, well, 0. Yeah. So this is a this is a strategy which costs us 0 to implement. Okay, point 1, 2, and 3 is something that we are doing today. Okay, today. Now let's see what we have to do at maturity. Okay, at maturity, let's go here. We will sell 1 unit of stock for 570. Okay, so probably you ask yourself a question. Well, how am I gonna sell this 1 unit of stock? Well, I just need to remind you that we purchased. Okay, and point 2 here, we purchased 1 unit of stock. So at maturity, we'll definitely have 1 unit of stock. Okay, strictly speaking, we don't know what this value for how much we can actually sell this stock, but it's for us it actually doesn't matter. So we purchased this stock a long time ago, 1 year ago, and today at maturity we sell this stock. And as per the terms of our forward contract, which we entered we entered into short forward contract to sell 1 unit of stock. As per the terms of this contract, we will deliver the asset. Okay, we'll get rid of our asset, and we will get 570 for it. Okay, so what else do we have to do? Let's see what we've done in the past, because it has clear implications for what we have to do in the future. We borrowed $532 for 1 year at 5% interest rates. Yeah. So what we're going to do in the future at maturity, we obviously have to repay this loan, and it so happens that continuous compounded rate of 5%. If you borrow $532 for 1 year at a continuously compounded rate of 5%, you will be owing to the bank £560. So it shows a cash outflow of 560. Okay, so what's our net gain? Well, our net gain is 570 because we shorted the forward, and Therefore, we got money as per the terms of the contract. Yeah, we entered into a forward contract for 570 USD. So we delivered the asset of 1 unit of Google stock, and we got 570, and we repaid loan of in the amount of 560. So net the two give us $10 gain. Okay, and this is an arbitrage gain because it cost us strictly nothing to enter. You see, today, i.e. 1 year ago, we have transacted these 3 points. Okay, it did cost us absolutely nothing to do, and in the future, okay, at maturity, we managed to actually make 10 USD guaranteed. Okay, guaranteed. So that's why if you observe in the market a forward price which is not agreeing with the theoretical price of 560, the one we derived, you can arbitrage the price and make risk-free profit. Okay, so we covered the case where the forward price actually above the theoretical 560. What strategy can we implement if the forward price is actually, if the current forward price is actually below 560? Here in our case 510. So let's think about this. Okay, as usual, there's stuff that we have to do today and there's stuff that we have to do at maturity. Today we are going to short sell 1 unit of Google stock. What I mean by short selling, well, short selling is just borrow it from someone and sell it. So the current price, okay, current price of Google stock is 531.99. So rounded is more or less 532. So we sold 1 share which we didn't own. We just borrowed it and sold it. Okay, that's what I mean by short selling, and we got $532 for it. In the second point, the second thing we do is we put these proceeds at our continuously compounded risk-free rate of 5%. Okay, so we are parting with this money. We are separating ourselves. You are giving the money to the bank, and therefore, you know, I show here a negative sign, which implies that there's a cash outflow. Okay, and then we enter into 1 long forward contract, i.e., we will have the obligation at maturity to buy 1 unit of a stock at 510, because this is the prevailing forward price. So we will oblige ourselves to buy 1 unit of stock for 510. Yet again, the contract costs nothing to enter. So what I'm trying to show to you here is, yet again, we have a case where we implement a strategy, an arbitrage strategy, such that it costs us nothing to enter and we'll make risk-free money. We'll make a gain in the future with a virtual certainty. Okay, so that's what we've done today. Now, what are we doing in the future? We receive 560 from the deposit, yeah, because we deposited money with the bank at 5%, this much, 532. So the bank pays us back 560 together with the interest accrued. Okay, and now, as per the terms of the long contract, we buy Google share for 510. So this is a cash outflow. Okay, and we get delivered an asset. Obviously, in a year's time, the asset can be anywhere. We don't know what the price will be, but we don't care what the price will be either. The reason why we don't care is because although we get delivered an asset, we paid for it 510. We have to close our short sell position. Remember, we borrowed the stock here in point 1 for 532. We sold it so we owe to the person from which we borrowed the stock 1 unit of stock. So as per the terms of the long forward, we get delivered the stock, but we have to pay it back. We have to give it back to the borrower, so the lender of the stock. So these two cancel out. This one cancels out with this one here. Net flow is 0. We get hold of an asset, we get rid of it here. So essentially what we end up at maturity is that this 560, which we received from depositing money for 1 year, and then we also bought the Google share for 1 unit of share for 510. So net we are making $40 on it. Yeah. Yet again, I just want to emphasize here the strategy here, point 1, 2, and 3 that we implemented cost us strictly nothing, and it made us money, guaranteed. Yeah. So we exploited some no arbitrage principles to actually arbitrage away these prices. 570, 510 are not no arbitrage prices. The only no arbitrage price is 560 today. Okay, so I showed you a technique that should enforce the price of the forward as forward price equals spot times this continuously compounded interest rate, yeah, times time here. So I didn't really provide any intuition why this has to be the formula for the price of a forward, but I showed you how we can arbitrage away any price which is inconsistent with the theoretical